So what happened a number of years after that was, and this speaks to the power of objects, just like so this is maybe also a better example of how the object can be used, is some years later I was walking down the street again with a person that I'd come to Australia in this case with, and we were both singing. We were like traveling minstrels, and it was a lovely kind of experience to have for a few years. And as I'm walking down the street in Mossman near Balmoral Beach in Australia, so the reason I'm saying that to everybody listening is these things can have, you don't have to be in the middle of India in Krishnamurti's house. This could be in the middle of your street where you'd never expect it to happen. And so I met this woman and she just stops me right in the path and she said, "You're a monk. Sai Baba has told me I've got to see you, come to my house at 5 o'clock." And she gives me this card. That's it. And then she leaves. I said, I called after, okay, I'll see you there. So I was with a woman who was a very dear friend of mine and a very, very good singer. I said, "Should we go?" She said, "Yeah, yeah, let's go have a look." 5 o'clock, we go around to the house. She takes us down to the basement and she said, "Sai Baba delivered these to me," and they delivered them. Though one was a statue of Ganesh, about, a solid statue, maybe close to 4 foot high, 4 foot, maybe even closer to 5 foot high. And next to that was another statue of Quan, the goddess of compassion, also about the same height. And they're both in, traditional postures. And she said, "I got this message from Sai Baba this morning to come and find you, and that if you pray in front of these, a miracle will happen." And I said, "Well, okay, I don't know about that, but I got nothing to lose. I'd be happy to pray." Yeah, she said, "Just do whatever comes naturally." So I stand in front of Ganesha, and I didn't actually do anything in front of Ganesha, but it started. Ganesha has a trunk because Ganesha is an elephant, the elephant like the god of good fortune, and the out of the trunk come starts to spurt this liquid like Amrita, the like honey. It came out of no. I could tip the statue over because it wasn't too heavy, but there was no source. There was nothing plugged in. There was nothing underneath. There were no switches. No. It was just a statue with now some fluid. So she went and got a bucket, and the fluid starts dripping out. And she says, "Taste it." So I tasted it. And it's the most beautiful honey-like substance. I don't know. To this day, I've never tasted anything like it. If you know what Amrita is, like it's supposed to be the immortal nectar of the gods, it was exactly that. I was amazing. So I felt, of course, very, very good. And then she said, "Pray in front of the other one and see what happens." So I knelt down in front of the statue of Quan Yin, and the only thing, Derek, that I could think about was just to pray for the liberation, the freedom of all souls on this planet. So I just did that, and then the woman that I was traveling with and the woman that whose house it was both give a little squeak or a squeal or a shriek because I opened my eyes and out of the heart of the statue of Kuan Yin, it break. The actual it was a bronze statue. Again, I could tip it on its side, nothing I could see inside, outside, roundabout side. But there's a break in the heart of the statue, like almost like a hole starting to appear. And out of it came this beautiful, about, close to nearly an inch sized pearl, a mother and baby pearl. So two pearls fused, a bigger pearl, which is the mother pearl, and a smaller pearl, which is the baby pearl. And the woman said, "Catch, catch it, catch it." So it came out on a strand of silk, like literally out on this beautiful strand of silk from the heart, and the pearl was right at the end of it. So I put my hands out, and the pearl, when it was too heavy for the strand of silk to carry, it dropped into my hands. And the woman said, "See, I told you you were a monk. I knew you were the right person." And she bound it up for me and put it around my neck. And she said, "Look, it's a gift from God. It's a gift from Sai Baba. Please take it." And so I did. And I'm walking up the road again, and I passed this guy who I knew, a fellow named Malcolm, or I'll call him Malcolm. And he had a jeweler's in those days in Mossman. And he said, "What's that around your neck?" And I said, "It's a pearl." And he said, "Where'd you get that?" And I said, "Out of the heart of a statue." And he said, "No, no, where did you get it? I'm serious." No, I said, "I'm serious too, out of the heart of a statue, a Quan Yin statue just now." He said, "Hey, can I take it and have a I mean, can you come with me?" And I take it and have a look. Yeah, I said, "Of course." Goes into his store, he looks, brings out all his instruments, and he said, "This is the most amazing pearl I've ever seen in my life." He said, "I'll give you 1,000 US." I said, "I'm not selling this." He said, "I'll give you 10,000 US now, cash on." I said, "I'm not selling it to anybody. If you offered me $1 million, I'd still never sell. I got no interest in selling this kind of thing. This is not mine to sell because I don't own it." I said, "Kuan Yin actually owns it. It's her compassion in the form of a rare um, pearl that's been gifted to me for other people." And so when you asked about, did I use the object? So that particular object I used for that pearl, I used for about 10 years for lots of healing, and people touched it and had these amazing experiences with it. And then when my mum was about to pass, I gave it to her. And when she passed, it vanished. It disappeared completely. I've never ever seen that. A little bit like Yogananda's story.
Hmm.
We all searched. We didn't know where it was, what has happened to it. So it went back to the owner, I think. It went back to Kuan Yin. It's probably nestling very securely in her heart.